Disease is any adverse divergence from an organism's normal structure or functional condition, typically accompanied by a few signs and symptoms and distinct from physical injury in nature. A diseased organism frequently displays symptoms or indicators that point to its aberrant state. Fish disease are the result of interaction between a fish, a pathogen, and a bad environment. There are some common conditions make fish affected, such as fluctuating water temperature, overstocking, deteriorating water quality, and poor handling techniques.
Several pathogenic and infectious diseases exist, and fungal disease infection being one of them. It is crucial that we discover the origins of the infection and the characteristic of the fungi in order to ultimately overcome and prevent fungal infection. Fungi can cause serious disease in trout. It is colorless and heterotroph. Fungi is a eukaryotic cell, and the cell wall is made of cellulose for saprolegnia, aphanomyces, and many others. Saprolegnia infection is a major fungal disease which caused by fungi called Saprolegnia ferex, Saprolegnia parasitica, and Saprolegnia declina. Improper handling and trauma are the major causes of the disease, which brings to developing of white to brown cotton-like growths on the skin, fins, and dead eggs. In early infection, skin lesions are grey or white in color, and in severe cases, 80% of body may be covered with fungal growth. Treatment for the disease is by using malachite green, formalin, and normal salt. It is best to prevent this disease because saprolegnia are among the most difficult diseases to treat. Branchiomycosis infection, or also known as gill rot, that was caused by Branchiomyces sanguinis and Branchiomyces demigreen, is another type of fungal infection. Fish that affected usually show respiratory distress, which may see fish gulping air at the water surface. This infection can be seen in fish gill, where the gill shows hemorrhage marble appearance, the area representing infected and dying tissue, which lead to blood vessel block. Avoidance is the best control for branchiomycosis, but malachite green, formalin, and normal salt could be used in treatment, while all tank and raceways should be disinfected with calcium oxide. Fungal spores are found in all fish ponds and create problems in stressed fish. Poor water quality, large amount of decomposing organic material in the pond create a stress environment which will trigger fungal spores to infect fish. A good husbandry practices is important to prevent any factor that will trigger the fish disease.
Bacterial fish pathogens can actually trigger external infections by ulcerating the skin, fins, gills, and mouth. The first common is bacterial cold water disease. This infection is caused by the gram-negative bacterium, which is Flavobacterium psychrophyllum. Commonly infects in salmonids and a few other species. Infected fish may present with a variety of clinical symptoms, including huge open lesions on the caudal peduncle, where the disease frequently emerges at low temperatures. Due to its effects on trout mortality throughout the early life stages, the disease is also known as rainbow trout fry syndrome. The next common, motile Aeromonas septicemia disease caused by Aeromonas hydrophila in fish. The organism is omnipresent in nature and can even be discovered in fish intestines. Symptoms include sudden death, swimming abnormalities, pale gills, bloated appearance, and skin lesions. The cause of the disease: poor environments with poor water quality, such as those with high nitrate levels. Low dissolved oxygen levels or high carbon dioxide levels are more prone to Aeromonas hydrophila infection. Fish are significantly less prone to this disease when the stress factors are reduced through correct handling, stocking levels, diet, transportation, and water quality. For the treatments, antibiotics are the preferred form of treatment. Oxytetracycline has been utilized extensively throughout the world.
The term parasite refers to organisms that thrive in or on other species and harm their host by absorbing their nutrients. There are two types of parasites, ectoparasites and endoparasites. Ectoparasites are the parasites that live outside the body of its host, whereas endoparasites are the ones that live inside the body of their host. White spot disease, also referred to as H, is one of the frequent diseases brought on by parasites. Once the parasite had a chance to increase in volume by a few hundreds of times, the white spot characteristics were plainly obvious. Some of the early warning signs we should watch out for include when fish start to move more slowly and stay in place at the surface or bottom of the aquarium, as well as when fish start to rub against the decor due to parasite irritation. The next disease under parasitic crustacea that causes progressively serious issues in cultured fish is Lernia, also known as the anchorworm. These parasites can harm wide populations and are visible to the naked eye. One of the indications that could be seen in the fish behavior was redness of the skin. By doing a salt dip, which successfully eliminates parasites, parasite disease can be cured. By keeping a suitable habitat and exercising control over feed management, parasite disease can also be avoided.
The number of fish and shellfish diseases and parasites documented in the scientific literature has been steadily growing, and it is expected that this trend will continue. A possible explanation for an increase is that germs are moving from one host to another, with the second being more susceptible to infection. Bacteria have increased somewhat as a result of the description of new species and the categorizations of others. Thus, there are several considerations that we should prioritize to prevent the disease to be widespread.